All right, hey, so this is Chris with Momentum Recruiting. I'm here with Gary from AHS Property Care and Landscape Supply. And we're over here in Battle Creek. And just want to spend a couple minutes talking to Gary about, his experience with Momentum Recruiting. So, Gary, the first question is, what was the problem you had prior to hiring us?
Well, the problem was we were having a difficult time finding people to fill the positions that we had open. We had a lot of work to be done, and we just didn't have the staff to get those jobs completed. We were struggling. Everything we tried just wasn't working.
Right on. Okay. And what exactly were you trying?
We were trying, your standard stuff, Facebook ads, things of that nature. To be fair, a lot of our stuff was kind of patched together and not very well thought out. Mm-hmm. Mostly because part of the hustle in business, you just didn't have the time
to really figure it out.
To really figure it out on our own.
Right.
Or even know what the right path was to go down to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of options. I mean, you're getting a lot of advertising for Indeed, and you had an Indeed account as well.
Correct.
So Indeed, Facebook. Did you ever try like ZipRecruiter or Monster or anything like that?
I don't believe I ever did.
Okay, so Facebook and Indeed.
Pretty much it.
Okay. Word of mouth referrals.
Yeah,
Okay.
we definitely see a lot of that.
Gotcha. You essentially had more work than you could deal with the manpower that you had.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And some problems with consistency on the people that we did have. The
Right.
people that we would happen to find and give them an opportunity. Some of those, don't tend to work out and things of that nature. So
Right.
you find ourselves, shorthanded with even the people around our roster when you have a couple people call in and you don't have any backup.
Yeah. Call-ins and like unreliable employees.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's pretty common. So what made you pull the trigger? Why did you decide to hire us?
Well, I actually spoke to a different contractor in the area just by chance, and we were talking shop. We were talking about those problems, and he had similar problems, and he had hired Momentum Recruiting. So he mentioned it to me and explained what his experience was like, which made us reach out to you. And at the end of the day, it was like, man, this what we're doing is not working. So we need to see if this will work for us.
Right.
And that ultimately is why we made the decision to do it.
So what was the result of hiring us, and how has your life been different since then?
Well, we do have adequate staff right now.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time as far back as I can remember.
And you've been in business since 2008.
2008.
Right, okay.
We have, I feel like as a rule, you still have, a bunch of eggs in the basket, and you got to figure out which eggs are ultimately going to be the fit. But we've definitely gotten a better quality type of employee. The ones that we have hired recently, we see that already.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And probably the biggest result is we now have a system to follow, a set of procedures on how to handle not only hiring other people, but setting up lines of communication and stuff like that with our existing people to maybe navigate through some of the problems that we had before. And probably one of the best things is, we were struggling to have people. And so some of the people that weren't fitting in or were a little bit more unreliable, or even more of a problem child, so to speak, we had to be a lot more lenient with them because a lot of times we just needed a body.
Right.
And now we feel like we can exercise ourselves of those people who are not fitting in or not complying to rules and things like that, and don't feel as much pressure in being able to replace them.
Right. So you got more confidence to basically not put up with their crap, so to speak.
Yeah. Put it bluntly.
Right on. That's awesome. Okay. So if you hadn't hired us, where do you think your company would be right now?
Oh, there's no doubt we'd still be struggling.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no question. We did not have the answer. That was obvious.
Right.
We did not have the answer.
Right.
So when you came in and helped us with this process, it's definitely made a difference. Hopefully we can just continue to build on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it's right now, it's well, technically September 2022. Most small business owners like yourself are really still struggling to find quality employees. I mean, this is like, it's like on the news. And so basically now you're in a position where you don't have to have that worry on a regular basis.
Right. Well, what's interesting about that, we got enough staff. We actually had enough staff where we actually caught up. And today is Friday, ahead of the Labor Day weekend.
Right.
And we actually gave 90% of our staff today off, along with Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I honestly can't remember the last time I don't know if we've ever done it.
Nice.
You know, so it's almost like all of a sudden I found extra time for stuff.
Beautiful.
Because we had enough people to get, you know, all of our jobs completed.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. The guy who referred you, his name's Brian.
Correct.
He, one of the things he said to me recently, he's like, Chris, your system has given me the luxury to be a better business owner. Do you feel like that was also the case for you?
Oh yeah, there's no question.
Awesome.
Anytime you're in business and you have to hire people, your business is only as good as your people.
Right.
There's no question about that. I've always considered employees as big of an asset as any product, any piece of equipment, any service that you might provide, because at the end of the day, they're the ones using that equipment, they're providing that service,
right,
or they're doing something with that product.
Right.
You know, and if you don't have good employees, you just don't have good business.
Well, what do you got? Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Okay. And last one. Now, if anyone was considering hiring us, you know, they're on the fence, what would you say to them?
At the end of the day, it's worth it. It's just that simple. If you want to solve the problem, you know, you pony up to the bar, and it'll work if you commit to it.
Right on.
It's just that simple.
How many hours a week would you say that you were personally putting into the process?
A week? Well, I mean, it was pretty heavy at first because we had so much to do.
Right.
Man, that's a tough one to answer. I don't really know the answer to that.
I'd say maybe 5 to 10 hours a week?
Yeah, probably closer to 15-ish.
15 hours, okay.
But once you've got it, because that's, you know, the learning process. Once you've got it, you don't have to spend as much time on it anymore. You're spending time in the beginning stages, setting everything up, and then you have your templates and all the things that we use.
Right.
And so you don't have to spend that time again.
Right. Yeah. It's an investment. It's an investment in time.
Yes, going forward, it saves you a ton of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on.
When I'm ready to hire more people, I just have to plug a few things in, and, you know, and then go through the process. And it'll cut that time probably in half.
Yeah, for sure. And we actually, with your program, we hired an operations manager and a sales and marketing manager. So you're really going to be able to delegate those tasks to those people and really save yourself a bunch of time.
Correct. Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.